Podcasting will be a thrill. Grandpa and chill, grandson and friends. Podcasting Grandpa and chill will be a thrill. Grandson and friends. With your hosts, Grandpa Bart and Brandon Fox, Finance Jackson and Sierra Dawes. This is Grandpa and Chill.
So happy to be here. Great to have you on, Grandpa, everybody. I think just to change up the format a little bit, my first question is just going to be like, what do we want to talk about today? You know, and from that, we can bring that to our guests. So, how are you doing, Grandpa?
I'm fine, except last night was a real screw up, but I didn't really discuss it yet.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, Sierra tried to help me with setting up my wife's podcast, and unfortunately, he was very tired. He had started back in business with running his reception hall, and he came in much later and really wasn't anxious to do things, and it just became a real hassle. So Sierra was very nice and waited for us, and it was just a mess. I'll put it that way.
Wow, you're probably the only 80-year-old with 2 podcasts.
Right. Well, right. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Getting back to a subject, I just am suggesting 2 possibilities. One would be to talk about pets, and another one about music. And I don't mean girlfriends or boyfriends. I mean animal pets.
Hilarious.
Just a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for pets and music. What else? Football's back. I don't really watch football. Talk about.
Yeah, I don't really watch either. Yeah.
I was thinking about children's books the other day, actually. Yeah, I was thinking about children's books when I was editing these the other day.
Children's books.
I wouldn't mind that. I mean, because I would love to write children's books, but I want like Brothers Grimm, like back in the day, like a little bit darker.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. I like story tales.
That's the crazy thing about children's books is like all the original fairy tales are just so fucked up. You realize horrible. Once you're an adult. Yeah.
I feel like, but those are the best ones to give kids like this like dark thing, because they don't even really know what's dark. They're just like, haha, if you swallow a spider, you'll die. Didn't that lady swallow a fly or something, and then she got a spider to go down her throat, and then something like that? Then they're like a whole thing about that.
That sounds familiar.
This is a fairy tale or real life?
Yeah, it's like one of those like Ring Around the Rosies, Pocket Full of Posies.
Yeah, it's like a rhyme.
Yeah, and that was about the Black Plague.
I remember.
Ring around ring around your rosies. That's like a sign of the Black Plague.
Everybody dies. Like when they say we all fall down, all the kids die. That's what it's.
Pocket full of posies because you stink so much because you're dying. So just put a pocket full of posies on you.
Yeah. Grandpa, do you remember the last plague?
You mean right now?
Do I remember the only one? You're going back to what, 1907 or something?
No, it's what, 1918.
Or 1918, right. No, not that old.
Gotcha.
Not 1907. That would be ridiculous to ask.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder what fairy tales are going to be talking about for art for 2020.
Kanye.
Everything's fucked. Yeah.
Good.
the fairy tales will just be Kanye's song.
It's gonna be like what's that one where it's like a Yankee Doodle?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Ran around trying to get votes. I don't know. God.
Yeah. I can see myself reading to my kids, whoopity scoop, scoopity poop.
That's a
Kanye's
beautiful,
song. Yeah.
genius song. Are you bringing Rosie out?
Rosie.
She sort of takes a nap during the daytime. I have a box here that's actually a cutter for doing photographic mounting that I've never used, and she made a hole in the box and goes in there and kind of spends her afternoon, part of her afternoons in there. It's kind of her hiding place, so she's secure in there.
Yeah.
Aw.
Did you know? So we have at my parents' place, we have cats and dogs, but the dogs will eat the cats, so they spend their whole life separate. Like is locked in a room, and then they take turns being locked in a room for like 50% of their. Yeah.
Sounds like jail.
Must get lonely. Must get lonely.
Lumberjack Nation outside my freaking house.
It does.
So you mentioned football. I think the Eagles lost, I think, in their first exhibition game. I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they didn't do too well.
Yeah, let's talk about football for 2 hours with four people that
Don't watch football.
don't know anything.
I do a fantasy football league every year, and I do pretty good.
But oh wow! And you don't even watch it?
No, but I like the numbers. I like go from there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This year I just picked the top 3, picked the top 5 teams, and I was like, well, if they're the best teams in the league, that means they'll probably play the best. So that means their players will probably be good enough to get somewhere. So then,
do you win money from this?
Yeah, I win money.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I had 2 ideas of stuff if we want to talk, but like the first one, I saw this thing. I was watching. There's this YouTuber, I forget her name, but she does like interviews with strangers for like 10 seconds a piece, and one of them is like, tell me about a stranger who you can't stop thinking about, or like changed your life or something. And then and then the other one I was just thinking like fairy tales, pets, and what was the third thing? Music.
Music, yeah.
Just like nostalgia, cuteness, the sense of like that the feeling that you get.
Yeah.
But nostalgia, yeah. I wonder if Grandpa feels nostalgia.
Yeah. I wonder.
Grandpa.
He's busy.
Grandpa.
Sorry about that. I was busy untangling my headphone wires and didn't hear a thing in the last conversation.
It's okay.
I was asking if you've ever felt nostalgic.
Sure, yeah. About what, the old days, or when I was younger, or whatever. Yeah, sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have. Yeah, I guess we all have some love for our childhood because we're young and healthy, and and don't have the same problems or stresses that adults have. We have other problems, but
When you were, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When you were untangling your headphones, did you hear the cries of Brandon calling Grandpa? did it bring you back to when he was a baby?
About that. I didn't. And now it's taking a minute to get back together because my cup just came off my headphones, so I can't hear you right now.
I'll just say, Finest, it never stopped. those are no old days for Grandpa.
No nostalgia. Just like
it's been a constant stream of my cries, Grandpa.
Here's a little baby on the street and goes, "Is that Brandon?" Some little kid, Grandpa.
He's in a 30-year-old suit. What? Nah, dude. I remember the last time me and my grandpa had a fight where he I think he might have spanked him. I don't know even if I can say that anymore. But
what? Oh yeah, because he gets CPS called on him.
Yeah.
What's the statute of limitations on a CPS call?
Yeah, imagine getting indicted as an 80-year-old.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got a whooping from my grandparents. There was threats, which were good enough for me because I'm like, well, if my parents are strong, I'm sure my grandparents are super strong. I don't want that.
My brother, my brother had a friend when he was like in grade school, and his friend's parents gave my dad permission to whoop their kids if they were bad while they were hanging out with him, and he was like, "Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. Like, if you think he's gonna be that bad, just like keep him." Like,
Yeah.
And they're like, no, please spank my.
they're like,
kid.
"Listen, I have an extra belt actually in the closet. Like, I can, you can
That
take
is
it
like
with
a-
you." Like,
That is
no,
like the
ma'am.
ultimate like gift to give someone. Like you
You
got supreme power, my child. You can beat the fuck out of that kid.
Yeah.
You want.
It's like, oh, now I can hold my pants up. It's like, no. It's not what
No.
this is for.
So funny.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to rumble now? We're just gonna talk about just everything, or
I mean, I guess hitting kids is a good place to start.
How do you feel about hitting kids? It's
Yeah,
too
Grandpa,
easy.
Grandpa, do you think that parents should or grandparents should be able to hit their children or grandchildren?
Maybe only if they're running out in the street in front of traffic.
Before the car hits them.
I wasn't doing that when you spanked me.
just kick them off, just kick them back onto the pavement?
I don't
like,
remember ever spanking you. I do remember one time pulling on your arm after you almost
Ran
I
into
won't get
Trevor.
into that with Jared.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wow, we're really into it. Without a
I think
topic. It's really we're really
It pops off apparently when we don't have a
getting into the
plan.
nuggets. Yeah,
I think having a good fear of death is good for children. You know, like my mom's like, if something doesn't kill you, I will. So
You're kind of
it's
right
like-
though. You kind of
that
right.
was
though.
always like the back of my head. It's like,
Yeah. Physically though, or like
I think we're talking about fairy tales. I think it's good to know that
once upon a
if you fuck up, I'm gonna kill you.
time. And they all lived happily ever after.
I'm very polite and I speak to everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
I give eye contact because I'm scared not to.
All right,
Yeah.
we still got a chance
Oh.
to keep this bad boy on the rails. So I'm gonna
Okay.
Let's get our guests. I'd love to hear our first.
I'm gonna
guest.
let Natasha welcome to this. We've never talked about child abuse before. How are you?
That's
What-
okay. I have a 3-year-old and I get it, man.
Oh gosh, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Hey,
Happy to be here.
these hands are E for everyone. Okay? Little kids as well. They probably need them the most. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't have any kids.
That might be the title of my second mixtape. Hands are you for everyone.
Yeah, I guess since we're on the topic, would you ever give anyone besides yourself, a warrant to hit your child?
Absolutely not. That so much.
No.
On a lighter note, do you ever read fairy tales to your kids, or do you think they're too fucked up?
We have not gotten into the fairy tales. If we do, I think they might be the modernized versions for the moment.
Sure. Yeah.
Nightmares. But even some of like the popular books, like Where the Wild Things Are, is like a little
Yeah.
gory and pretty dark. Pretty
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with that movie version, and it definitely painted who I am now. Seeing it, like,
Defined me.
yeah. Like I was such a well-behaved kid, and then I was like, I want to cause the ruckus, you know. But,
I remember really being into Halloween music too, like the Monster Mash and stuff like that.
Yes.
When it first came out as a kid. Does anybody know the Monster Mash or
Yeah,
Purple Monster Eater or something? Purple.
they blared it in the gym every year when I was in grade school. We had like a weird parade where like it's kind of scary when I think about it now, but like all the kids, like the whole student body, like we wore costumes and like just marched in a circle around the gym.
Presumably for Halloween.
For Halloween. Yeah. we just like marched in a circle in these costumes, and then we got to go to like our classrooms and like play games or whatever, but like just a weird Halloween parade. I guess this was the best way for like the parents to like see you and take a picture. I don't know, but Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, and they just blared
Are
Monster
you gonna
Mash
take your
and-
kid? Are you gonna take your kid trick or treating this year, Natasha?
I don't think so. I would love to, but I have a friend that's having like 4 kids and their parents over, and I think we're just gonna do that. He had some
Yeah.
immune issues when he was younger, so we're like a little bit paranoid.
Mm.
Yeah, what issues? I'm sorry.
Immune issues. Almost
Ah.
Oh yeah, no way.
So he's outgrown most of it, but when he gets sick, he gets really sick for a really long time. So
Yeah.
he's too little to know that he's missing anything.
Yeah, that's good.
Buy him a big old bag of candy and he'll call it a day.
Right? Yeah, like just play, like I'm sure Halloween Town's gonna be on, you know, just
Yeah.
eat some crunch bars. You'll be okay. He'll be great. We'll love it.
How old is your child?
He's turning 3 in a week, actually.
Oh, yay.
Oh,
Happy future
congrats.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Be like the stranger said happy birthday.
He appreciates any happy birthdays he can get. Especially
Does he have a favorite song? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
favorite song? Any Mickey Mouse song. It was really funny. We put on Monster Mash like a few days ago, totally randomly, and he got really mad and was like, "No, Mickey Mouse."
That's pretty cool. So I wonder if that in the future, when he hears that, like at like age 15, it will be more nostalgic for you or him.
I think he'll feel that nostalgia. We listened to it enough that I think it's embedded. I just miss having adult songs stuck in my head, though. I think that's what I miss the most about my former life.
Yeah.
Like, kid songs.
What have you heard? Baby Shark? Was
Oh,
that
God.
within the realm?
Yeah, that's a popular one.
She's like repress.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to that place.
I have no kids, but it's still stuck in my head.
I mean, like the trap remixes though are kind of a bop. Like they really turned it around. I'm not gonna lie.
I would dance to it.
It is a bop.
I guess we're going with nostalgia right now. What to you is like sort of the best memories from your child? Like what age? For me, it might have been when I was 3, honestly. But
all the memories of wanting to get those toys that were so hard to get, like the Furby and the Tamagotchi, and like begging my parents for weeks and then it finally arriving. That's like ingrained. And then of course I've blocked out the whole like next 2 years where it would like break or get dirty and I'd get really upset. But the toys was definitely pretty defining moment.
I love Tamagotchi, and this goes back to, it's kind of weird how all of these super sweet things meant for children like teach death and are like so morbid looking back, honestly.
If you don't clean up all the poop, it will die.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still have the little toy with an angel icon. It's like,
It's
what is
dead.
this? What happened? Yeah. No.
What were those like Club Penguin things that like they wouldn't die, but they would just like run away or disappear if you didn't take care of them?
Oh, I don't know.
Grandpa, do you know?
I don't, but talking about nostalgia, you had asked me before, Brandon, probably my camp days when I was a child.
Like at
You
a
were in
camp or
I
camping.
went to overnight camp for 10 years when I was a
Ooh.
kid. And,
Oh,
Wow.
you know,
sick.
you kind of bond with the other campers in your bunk. So I do remember that.
Fun.
And I also remember being the lead in a camp play, and I totally froze on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The talent gets passed down through the generations.
That's hilarious. I remember a talent show when I was like, I had to be like kindergarten or something like that, and everybody had a talent, and I juggled 2 balls, and I thought I was the bee's knees, just throwing 2 balls like up and catching them. And now that I'm older, it was like, oh, that wasn't juggling at all. We're just throwing 2 balls in the air.
Oh god.
Yeah. Were you in any competitions, Grandpa? In camp? Didn't they have those singing
in
things?
camp? Well, I was fairly small for my in stature, and they put me up against the biggest kid in the camp to box. And they stopped the
I
fight.
was talking about like a musical. This is a whole different.
Yeah, well, that was
No,
something
yeah.
else, but, yeah.
Yeah, go into that though.
Well, they stopped the fight because I think that I had a more aggressive personality than this other big guy.
He wasn't ready for all that smoke.
Right.
I just imagine the counselors betting money, and they're like, "Oh no, the little one's winning." Break it up.
Yeah. Wow.
Just cancel the bet.
Did the parents know that kids were boxing at the camp?
I don't think so.
It was like an underground pit bull ring with children. Wow.
But yeah, my camp days. When you asked me about nostalgia, that was probably, I guess, the most enjoyable time of my childhood was when the summer camp, which I went.
Yeah.
We went for 2 months overnight, and it was great.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
mhm.
Wow.
Dang.
So
I don't think I've ever been to an overnight camp. I've been to summer camps where we go home the next day. But
My parents weren't letting me do that.
Well, my parents were glad to be relieved.
for 2 months sounds amazing without kids.
Right.
2 months.
Well, they
Yeah.
came up twice during the summer and visited for a few hours. But
Yeah. They were like, "Oh fuck, I got to do this." All the other parents are. Natasha, do you think you'll send your kid to camp eventually?
Now that Grandpa brings it up, I went to camp just once in 5th grade for a week, and yeah, it was the most fun ever. I definitely want him to have that experience. I didn't go as much as I would like. I'd like to send him more than once, but maybe not for 2 months. That's a little long. I mean, I would enjoy it, but
They should do an adult version where
you have that.
I guess
Where?
it's just Las Vegas, right?
It's just camping.
No, I don't know where it is, but I've seen it advertised all the time on Facebook. It's called like Adult Summer Camp, and there's like drinking o'clock and all these like team building games, but you're drinking the whole time. And
Wow.
like rafting. It's like a week long, just like adult fun.
And you guys like sleep in like cabins together and shit?
So I have not been. I've just seen the ads, but
That does sound fun, except
That does
for all
sound
the
fun.
nature.
Yeah.
Nature sounds fun
in the
too.
corner and drink that works. too.
I feel like you would meet some interesting characters that want to sign up alone for a
Yeah.
1 week adult summer camp.
Alone.
Yeah, that sounds like I would do that. Lonely folks. I'm trying to meet some friends.
Yeah.
It's hard to make friends as an adult. It's very weird.
I really think this is super hard to make friends as an adult.
Because everybody's weird. Like, everybody's weird or crazy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Maybe little kids are just more accepting of weirdness.
That's true.
Where are you based out of, Natasha?
I'm in central New Jersey, like half an hour from the shore.
Nice.
Oh, I'm in Monmouth County right now.
Wait, no way.
Wait, where?
I'm in Freehold.
No way. Wall Township. That's
Sync
super
up.
weird.
Sync up. Do
Super
like a mini
crazy.
summer camp. Do it now.
Yeah,
Right.
And all these New Jersey names, I have no idea what any of those names.
There's
mean.
like 30,000 of them. It's way too much.
They sound
What?
wonderful.
what's nostalgic about those areas?
Oh, the Freehold Mall, the Freehold Raceway Mall.
No one's going there now, though.
No, well, it's weird. I went to the Monmouth Mall like a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and it's nothing's changed, honestly. Yeah.
Were you one of those kids that went to the mall quite a bit as a teen?
Oh, the mall is a place to go.
Yeah. In central New Jersey, it's like that and like the beach and like nothing else. Like we used to hang out in like an abandoned I guess construction site or people's basements. Like that's all that, there's no city life or anything.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to go to the mall when I was a kid, teenage years, but that's just because my parents are cheap. They didn't want me to see anything that would cost money.
They didn't even want you to see it. Don't even breathe
don't
on
even look at it. Don't even look at it. He can't have it. Just
it's
go
not gonna
outside.
happen.
Free.
Things have really changed. When my youngest daughter was probably, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, I used to leave her at the movie theater by herself. And when I was a child, my parents and my mother's sister used to leave my cousins and my sister and myself at a movie theater. They'd take us there on a Saturday, probably cost 25 cents to watch a movie, drop us off, and nobody worried about it. And Today, I think parents are much more careful.
Yeah.
7, like 7, never. 7 years old. That's
that's maybe like
12.
12
Yeah.
with a friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
12.
Here's
Is
Rosie.
it?
Rosie.
Rosie.
Do y'all think it's because it's more dangerous now, or is it just because something else?
Well, I think it's because the news media, talks so much about things that happen that are unfortunate, kidnappings and whatever, that people are more afraid to leave their children alone, and also the authorities, the laws are probably more strict today about what you can do with children.
People were still kidnapping back then, right?
Well, today you can't leave a child alone at an age where a child would be a babysitter years ago. A 13-year-old child would be babysitting young children.
That's
years
true.
ago, and today you can't even leave them alone on their own. So things have changed dramatically.
Yeah, my first babysitting job, I was 10 years old. I could not imagine 10-year-old my child.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right. It is kind of weird because even when I was young, not that I'm even that old, but even when I was younger, seeing a kid by themselves, like I could go out by myself when I was younger and walk around the woods, walk around my neighborhood. But if I was that same age now, I think I would look at that kid like, why is that kid alone by themselves, by themselves out there?
Yeah. Would you let your kid babysit at age 10?
I would, personally. It depends on the maturity of my child. So, if I have a kid that looks like they have no common sense and they can barely turn the stove on, then I'm not gonna leave them alone. But I feel like they're adult enough to know how to unlock the door and lock the door and know who's there and all the other stuff, then I don't see why not. But
the responsibility or responsible person, they can be responsible when they're 15, and some people aren't responsible when they're 50. So it's a difference in maturity.
Plan on working my kids early so they can be mature.
So I can start doing things now.
There'll be no kid life for them. They'll be adults as soon as they're out. No.
We're gonna start tax prep at 17. No, at 11.
Yeah.
At age 10, it's like, what is a babysitting job and what is like a sleepover with someone who's 9?
Oh God.
Yeah. The crazy thing is the cell phones. Man, I sound so old. The crazy thing is the cell phones.
The cell phone.
But even 10 years ago when I was, 14 years ago when I was in middle school, high school, and I got my first flip phone, I feel like that now would be so old. To wait until you're 14 to get your first cell phone now is insane.
Yeah, you'd be a total square. No one would talk to you.
A total square.
Yeah. But a 10-year-old could technically, I don't know legally, but they could Uber around right now.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
They gotta have an age limit. You gotta be at least
I think the Uber driver will
get a fake beard on their Uber picture and
Macaulay Culkin gets in an Uber.
On top of each other.
I feel what, that's a great example. Like Kevin. Would you trust Kevin from Home Alone? That's the threshold. Can he babysit a child? Can he? Would you trust him to do it?
If you're an adult and you're an Uber driver, how much would that kid have to give you money-wise, cash, for you to drive that kid wherever they wanted to go? Because there's no way I'm taking that kid anywhere if I'm an Uber driver.
Well, you don't know until they get in the car. You're like, hey, and then you look in your rear view, and then you have to angle it down. You're like, what the fuck?
I'm literally just gonna put the child locks on and call the police.
No, I'm not. I'm letting that kid. I'm unlocking the front and get out. Get out my car.
I think Uber drivers aren't even supposed to take anyone under, I believe it's 18 or 16 without.
Yeah.
They better not. That's how you get caught.
That sounds very sketchy for a Uber driver to let that happen.
This ain't a school bus. All right, Natasha, we have another guest coming up. Do you have any last thoughts?
won't let other folks beat my children. Will say my child.
I just want to apologize on behalf of the podcast for even.
Podcast. Y'all started that. I didn't know.
What? That is a good question to ask. Now we know.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Oh God,
it was very fun.
Great having you on. Thanks so much.
Now I know if I ever, these hands are for everyone except for Natasha's child.
You know what?
There you go.
Oh God.
E with an asterisk.
All right, Narissa, hello.
Hello, guys.
What is up? How are you?
Hi, Narissa.
Hello.
I am bueno. How are you all? This is such a fun chat already. I've been listening the entire time.
Right?
Oh, boy.
Fire. Yeah, Narissa, I think we were here for all the tech support and everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I was in there when Grandpa was trying to fiddle with the headphones, pick up the topic, and I heard the child abuse. I was like, wait, what? Hold up, what?
We literally never done that ever in life.
No, we're advocating against anybody listening where it's
let me be clear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speak for yourselves.
Exactly.
Everybody but Finest.
Oh, Grandpa.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the bird. She won't let me put her in the cage.
Rosie
she starts eating my shirt, and I've got holes in all my shirts now, and wounds on my arms and everything. She's got a sharp beak and doesn't realize.
I told you she got a taste for human flesh, and she can't go back from that.
Just think of it as love bites.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you told me that
karma.
When you told me she likes to sleep during the day and stay in a dark area, I was like, that's a bat you have in here. Not a regular bird.
It's like one of those stories about like the family, like, yeah, we found this puppy in the forest and we just took it home, and it like grows up and it's like a wolf like a wolf brought home.
Why is it eating honey all the time?
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Do you have any nostalgic stories for us?
Well, first off, I'll just give this disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
I did not go to school up here.
Where's up here?
Went to school I didn't go to school in the U.S. I was raised in the Caribbean.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So the nostalgic thing for me was in my elementary school, my primary school, there was a shop. I want to say maybe about 50 feet from the school. And every evening we would just, as soon as the bell rang, we're out going to the shop and we'll buy all the little snacks to eat. Mind you, some of us had after school. Parents were coming to pick us up. It's like, no, you can wait. We need to go get our plums. We need to go get our snacks. Let's go do that. So that's one nostalgic thing. And also when you guys were talking about camp, I forgot about camp until you mentioned it. And we had a day camp. So the camp would open from around 6:30 a.m. Parents could start dropping their kids off at 6:30 in the morning and can pick them up as late as 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow.
And that was a YMCA.
Dang.
Yeah, that's where I did camp, is the YMCA.
Yeah.
That sounds like a camp made for parents.
Yeah.
I think it really was. And other side note, Baby Shark, I'm tired of hearing Baby Shark. I've been hearing Baby Shark since 94.
Even Trap Baby Shark?
Well, I can get down to Trap Baby Shark. I'm not gonna lie. But the regular Baby Shark, and they're like, oh my God, it's so new. No, that's been around since the 90s, probably the 80s.
Gosh.
I did not know that.
Oh, wait, what?
I wonder how much money that songwriter and producer are making now.
Somebody came out here and straight up reappropriated Baby Shark.
Imagine the creator being like, oh, I have nothing, and then they have to wait 30 years to hear it everywhere.
Because there was the whole family. It was Baby Shark, Mama Shark, Daddy Shark, Grandma Shark, Grandpa Shark,
Do.
Yep, same do. Shark Attack.
Wow.
Dial 911, but in my country it was 999, not 911. So you had to dial that, and then you said it was too late because they already bit your arm or your leg. walk away, then swim away, and then that was the end of the song. It was literally a camp song.
You sound traumatized by that song, and it does sound pretty dark too.
What were you about to say, Grandpa?
But tell them the whole story.
Nerissa, did you, from your childhood experiences with friends, have you kept in contact with any of your childhood friends or any of us? Have we done that with any of the friends we had as children?
Yeah, but they didn't keep in touch with me. So
right. I still have a couple. I have like 2 or 3, and I don't like talk to them though. I just like hit them up on Instagram or something. But it's cute to see them.
Yeah,
I picture, sorry. No, I just picture friends and aging. It's like the older I get, it's like all of these like gold sifters. Like you have like a bunch of sand, and then like gold comes through, and then like the holes get smaller and smaller. So like the friends I have now, the farther back I go, like the more like amazingly close and like cool the people are, you know? Because it really takes a lot, I feel like, to have a friend from 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Agreed. My best friend is of 28 years.
Dang.
We're still friends to this day.
That's nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, we met in that primary school.
Wow. You still talk every day, or?
Not every day, but I think with true friends, you know, you each have your own life to live, doing whatever you do. But if you're in a situation where you need to talk to your friend, and you're like, listen, pick up the phone, I need to talk to you, they'll drop it, whatever they're doing to talk to you. So I don't have to talk to him every single day. I may talk to him today, won't talk to him for like 3 months, and then we'll catch up. But there's never any animosity, never any, well, you didn't talk to me, XYZ. We just kind of just link back up, and, you know, everything is peachy keen.
Wow. It's weird to think, like, when I'm hanging out with someone I've known for 15 years, like, are we going to be friends when we're 80 years old? Like, could we be hanging out 60 years from now, you know? Grandpa, who's your longest friend that you've had?
Well, if you're talking about people from my childhood, I would say I moved into a neighborhood when I was about 13 years old, and my next door neighbor was a year or two older than I am, and his father and he were very fine musicians, and I've been doing some recording with him recently where we've kept up a friendship. He was our next door neighbor. He plays trumpet and also keyboard. He's a very good keyboard and trumpet player. And his son is a drummer has done drumming for Alicia Keys and others.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
So we're I wouldn't say we're real close, but we have kept up a friendship, which is nice.
How many years?
Well, I'm 80, so subtract 13 from 80, and what do you have? 67.
Wow.
7 years. And then I had I dated a lady when I was I guess I was around 18 or 19, and very, very short time I dated her and didn't speak with her for probably 50 years after that. And then I started dating her again.
Oh, wow.
She had invited me to her school prom when I was a kid. She was a very attractive young woman, and I remember taking her to her school prom, and she kept asking me, "Aren't I as pretty as the queen of the prom?" But kind of silly. But other than that, I can't think of anyone right now. I have friends that I knew in college that I was friendly with. Somebody's spam. Another one of those spam calls. So anyhow, that's about it for me. I haven't really kept close with other than maybe a few people from my childhood.
Wow. How does someone reconnect after 50 years?
That's a good question. You know, I can't remember
Tinder?
how I got. Well, I connected with my friend who's a musician because I was interested in I do some professional recording of audio.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how we got back together. I've been friendly with him for about 10 years now, since our childhood. So I hadn't seen him or talked to him for many years before that. And I don't remember how I got back together with the other young lady either. But how about you guys? Have you kept in contact with any of your
relationships?
Well, Narissa already told us. Yeah.
Yeah, some of my closest friends I've been knowing since 8th grade and kindergarten, and some like late high school. But my closest friends, I've been knowing for almost, it's getting towards like 12 plus years, some times that. So I think it's been hard for me to. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, do you still feel like you have something in common with them? That you feel like you're comfortable with them. Yeah.
I feel like I talk to them so much that it's more like kin or like family. Like I feel like I'm talking to like a brother or a sister when I'm on the phone with them. So it's more like we got a lot in common. I mean, it's really just normal human stuff, but it's just like someone you can just go get to brass tacks with and be like, we know enough about each other, we can keep in contact. I think I've probably outgrown some friends, but were they really friends in the first place?
That's the question.
No, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so, but yeah, but I think some of my closest friends, I've been having them for years, though. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I forgot when I was mentioning about friends that I kept very close contact with two of my closest boyhood friends, but they both passed away like 10 years ago, so I had forgotten about that. But I kept very close contact with them, and we were boyhood buddies.
Even up until their death?
Yeah, pretty much. One more so than another, but we kept up our friendship.
Yeah. That must have been really difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, they passed away. It wouldn't seem young to you, but at a fairly young age, and one was 66, so he passed away probably 14 years ago.
Wow.
The other one was not much older, maybe 68. So anyhow, so I did keep in contact with boyhood or childhood friends, and one thing, they pretty much stayed the same people, the same personalities, that they were when they were young.
Good.
Yeah. That sucks for people who are trying to change their personality to hear that.
Oh yeah.
Like I've grown so much. And it's just like,
yeah. You're the same as when you were 13.
So do you feel like, okay, then what if we have the same? If I have the same friends from now and then 20 years from now, should I be like disappointed in myself and the amount of growth I've had? But I'm looking around like, I should have been done grown, but clearly we're still friends.
Yeah, this is just middle school with old people.
That just means that y'all grew together.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah. Go on, Grandpa. No, you.
Narissa?
Yes.
Did you say that you have a young child, right? Did you say 3 years old?
I do not.
No, that was Natasha.
I was Natasha.
The last
I have no kids, but I have a lot of nieces, nephews, and I'm auntie all the way around.
Yeah. Do you like it like that?
Well, I mean, the good thing with nieces and nephews is you get to give them back. But to quickly touch on the other topic of like if you would give somebody else permission to whoop your child's butt when they do wrong things.
We're gonna be circling back to this.
My mother gave my teachers permission to whoop my butt when she wasn't around.
Oh no!
How often do they exercise that?
They didn't. I mean, there was one incident where I was, I think, 3 or 4. My mother gave me, at that time I did not like cauliflower. She gave it to me for lunch after I told her, like, Ma, I don't like the taste of it. And I threw it in the garbage. My teacher whooped my butt because she's like, there are starving children everywhere. Why are you throwing away good food?
Dang.
And then she told my mother, and then my mother whooped my butt when I got home.
Dang.
So I got double beating that day. But my friends give me permission to discipline their kids as long as they know, like, I'm disciplining like them, like how they would, because sometimes kids feel like, okay, I'm going with auntie. I can get away with this. Not with me. If your parents don't allow you to do it, you're not going to do it with me.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the threat is what is enough sometimes, because I don't feel like my mom gave me whoopings a lot. But even what you're saying about like the cauliflower thing, mom with the taste of it, I just remember hearing, "How about you? I'd like to taste out your mouth," or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's now that I'm older and I'm talking about adults beating their kids, it sounds so bad. But at that time, it was like, well, I guess I like to taste the cauliflower then.
How about have any of you guys kept any kind of relationship or had a close relationship with any of your educators, any of your teachers in life?
Miss O'Neill died. Do you know? So there was one who I was like, she was probably like my mentor when I was a kid. Like I felt like she like saw something in me, and she was so kind. But she was when I met her as a kid, like already sort of pretty up there. And then I found out of nowhere that she had passed away a couple years ago, and I just was not around. Like I didn't hear about the funeral or anything. So like,
Dang.
yeah.
Do you remember what she taught?
This was like elementary school, so everything.
No.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah.
I still have most of mine on Facebook.
Teachers?
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. How's that?
The country is really small, so the job that my mom had, like, I couldn't get away with anything. So it's like, even if I tried, people will call her and be like, Narissa's doing XYZ, and then she'll kind of press me.
Damn.
But yeah, Trinidad is the size of Delaware.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Right.
So it's like everybody knows everybody, especially if you're different from different parts of the country. But I have my Caribbean Studies, Communication Studies teacher. I have some elementary school teachers, and it's kind of cool because they don't see you as their students anymore, even though they do, but they understand that you've grown up and you've probably like maybe worked with them. So now they tend to see you as colleagues, or they'll just be extra proud. Like, that's the kid that I had a hand in preparing for the world. So it's been pretty cool, and they keep in touch with me, make sure I'm good. And sometimes they might ask me questions and advice and how my family is doing and whatnot. But for the most part, it's the usual Facebook, stay in touch, laugh at a couple memes, things like that.
On the flip side of that, it's so nice seeing teachers that were fucking awful to you on Facebook, like just doing terribly.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's so nice. Like, how's your ukulele career?
Narissa, are your parents still in the Caribbean, or did they move here with you?
They're still in the Caribbean.
I see. And how long ago did you come to the U.S.?
I came
to the continental U.S.
I came in 2009 for undergrad, for college, and I've stayed. So I've been here for 11 years.
Oh, wow. I see. What is your career?
Oh, I say it like that because I have 3 degrees.
Ooh.
And I am currently a New York State licensed massage therapist.
Go off.
Okay. My one of my daughter's brother's wife is a massage therapist. Yeah, good field.
Thanks.
We are almost out of time, Narissa. Do you have any final thoughts?
In terms of final thoughts, first of all, you guys are awesome. I just want to say that off the rip. Everybody's awesome. But Grandpa beats y'all in awesomeness. I'm just letting y'all know one time. Grandpa's extra awesome. And I mean, keep doing what you guys doing. It's something that needs to happen. If it's just general conversation, given the current situation we're in with this pandemic, keep doing what you guys are doing. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're hired. You'll come.
Right.
Listen, I'll come whenever you guys want me to. This is fun.
Thank you so much for coming and staying. You're delightful.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you guys enjoy your day, all right?
You too.
All right.
All right. We have our old pal, Jamia,
Hey.
what is up, fam?
Oh, Cam.
Nothing. What's up?
Hey, y'all. I mean,
Just
hey,
listening
How
to
you
the
doing?
conversation. I'm ready to talk.
go ahead.
You don't have a long drive right now, do you?
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
sitting at home.
Nice,
Good.
nice.
Yeah, so you want me to just chime in on what I heard, or
We're talking
what you
about
want me to?
mostly like nostalgia,
Things from the
memories,
past.
good stuff from the past,
Just you can talk about anything except hitting children.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
Look, what is?
most definitely. I'm a sweetheart. Most definitely not. Seriously, well, I'm from this little small town in Mississippi, of course. And when it comes to like memories, I really like it's not many that I have because like the family that I come from, I would just say my mom, she didn't really work, but she provided for us, for me and my siblings. I have 5 other ones. And like when it came to the extracurricular activities, I really didn't do much other than play softball. I played baseball with the guys when I was about 5 years old. And that was my fun. Those are the memories I remember. And of course, I wanted to do things, but I didn't pressure my mom because, like I said, she didn't work and she has sickle cell. And the more that I think about it, it's like, at first I'm like, why is she's not working? But I never questioned it to anyone else aloud. But then as I got older, I realized that my mom had six children, and she began having children at 15 years old. And so it was like, wow. And me, like I have one son and he's 4. And just to think, being away from my family, I was in Frisco, Texas, away from my mom because she usually helps when like my sisters when they had children. She's a big helping hand, teaching how to take care and nurture a child. But I just feel like I only had God to uh, keep me through and raise my son. And I was a nurse, but the mental place that I was put in, they have the postpartum depression. I felt like I fought strong through that. So thinking back, it's like, okay, well, she had 6 of us, and no help at all. And, just to keep going, like I just want to know, like her mental space couldn't have been so good, but she never broke in front of us, little small kinks of, like I heard someone say, babysitting at 10 years old. Well, I have a sister, my oldest sister. She is 29 now. And she often says she wished she had an older sister because she was left at home with us when my mom left and went places. Now I'm older, I understand that she just needed a breather after being in the house with 5 girls and 1 little boy. Like that was, I know, challenging for her. And then not taking into account things that have happened to her when she was younger, like generational things that happen in the family. Oftentimes a lot of people like to sweep it under the rug, but I'm not the one to do that. That's why I'm so cautious with my son. I won't leave him any and everywhere. Honestly, I'll just say if it's not with his dad or me or my mom or his grandparents, then my child is not staying anywhere. It was hard for me to send him to daycare. His Mimi actually went and sat in her room for about 2 weeks the at the daycare that he goes to in Texas, just overprotective. But I wouldn't say really overprotective. I just call it caring because like you never know what people have on their mind. It's a lot of wickedness out here in this world. So you just have to be careful. That's what I would say.
I think a
And
lot of parents are that way today. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason. I mean, there's some truth behind why we do protect our kids so much nowadays because even though we don't talk about it or not, there's a lot of stuff that happened during leaving kids by themselves or leaving them unattended with adults that have no right being with child. And yeah, no, also I think me and my dad were talking about this recently about like just kids that have to grow up really fast. The kids that say a kid that like a 10-year-old got to take care of their siblings and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think it's a little unfair. Me and my dad were talking about like I think it's a little unfair, even though it's the situation they're in, but to be like put into adult role. I was making jokes about it earlier, but it is kind of like it's
Yeah,
a
that's
shame. Go
yeah,
ahead.
you never get to like enjoy the childhood. And now that we're older and my sister talks about it, I'm like, dang, gee, like you really didn't, have the time to yourself or be yourself. Like when you like I'm sure her mental was just probably everywhere. And when we wanted to do the extra things and couldn't do it, although like we're from, like I said, a small city, small town, we don't have things to do here. No skating rink, no bowling alleys, no nothing. It's purely nothing but just about 3 Mexican restaurants, a McDonald's, how many dollar stores. We finally got a Walmart a few years, like maybe last year or so.
Oh, wow.
And like it's just it's a city full of darkness, honestly. It's the ghetto. But, you it's some very bright people out here. Like we have a 2 NFL stars. Fletcher Cox plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Alexander Hollins plays with the Vikings. But it's very rare that you make it out with doing what you want to do, like your passion.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I wanted to like I've always wanted to write and like be an actress when I was a really, really little girl when I played with my little friends. But when I remember in the 3rd grade when I got dressed up for career day and my mom dressed me up as an RN BSN. And I'm like, okay, so that's all I knew from that moment on because she planted that inside of me. And I think that it was something that she wanted to do. But when I realized what the role was as a registered nurse, I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do that. And then, but I also have sickle cell. So when I was in the hospital, I would see, and then I changed my mind and said I wanted to be a pediatrician. But then when I used to see the little children who had cancer, with shaved heads and everything, my heart was just like, sink in. Like as a little girl, my heart, it cringed and I used to cry because I knew that it was something wrong with them. I didn't know what was wrong with them at the time, but I knew it was something wrong. And I just felt like, oh my goodness, like Lord help them. But as I got older, and I used to hear her talking about bridging. So that's what I did. I did the CNA, the LPN, and I got to LPN, and it was just like, you know what? Like I told you guys recently, it was like, just stop and do what you want to do. So once I left that last relationship with my son's dad, I immediately knew, just find you, love on you.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
as
sound
far
like a
as
very sensitive person.
you said sensitive.
I said you sound very sensitive, like a very sensitive person. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I
very
I can
caring.
say
Yeah.
I am. I honestly am.
Yeah.
And I really I want to see a change in this world. I know like you can't help everyone, but at least you know, help who you can help. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the girls, me and myself and I've always encountered things like relationship wise and not just saying like with my significant other, but like relationship with everyone, with family, with friends. And you think that people are for you and turns out that they're really not. You know, I never like to say someone is jealous of me, but the truth be told, it is jealousness. And it's like, why do you have to be when I literally love you wholeheartedly? Like, whatever I have, you can have it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is that you want help with, like, I'll be there hand and foot for you. Like, just keep it real.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now I know I heard you guys talk about friends, and I can say like I don't have a friend from my childhood. I don't have like it seems like every level I get to, like from secondary education, to college and all of that, like I don't have friends from way back in the day because like I guess you just outgrow people and you find out who people really are. And once you find out who they are, you don't allow them to burn you twice. I mean, even if they do what they do to you again, you just forgive them and move on. Not necessarily saying that there's beef or anything, but you just have to let that be and love them, but you can't deal with them because they're obviously not good for you or not good for where you're going per se. And I only want to do what's good in this world. So, do it hurt? Not being friends with the people that I love? Absolutely. Like it literally hurts when I see them and for birthdays and all of that. Like it hurts not talking to them, but they're no good for me. So,
Are
it's
you?
okay.
I'm sorry. Are you referring at all to family members?
No,
Just from what?
just
Oh,
friends, but with family
yeah.
too. Uh that's
Something you
another.
said made me think that.
That,
Yeah.
oh no, oh, different types of relationships. Yeah, but family is I'm gonna hit all of them. Okay, so that was friends, but with family, you know, you have to let them go too. Let them like, hey, I love you, but if you're gonna keep up with this negativity, you, I'm just gonna have to let you go, but I'm gonna also give it to God. Like, men, us, if we're supposed to be, close like this, please, me in this relationship, help them see things your way and not the way that they want to see it. Just
Hmm.
purify them. So, because I want a family of closeness. My family is so divided, y'all. Like, oh my God, my great grandma, she had 10 children and 6 girls and 4 boys. And when I tell you only her children are close, like, okay, I forget how many children her mom had, but she only had a handful and they have a different name than we have. And it's like they call us the bougie family. And then but they call themselves the down to earth. But little do they know, we are down to earth. We just don't carry ourselves, just going out with bonnets on your head, just
Yeah.
not being professional, or just keeping yourself up. That's the better
Yeah.
terminology to use. But it's just like I don't understand. Like I don't understand where it comes from. And I know that some people from that side was the main side, like really doing the touching in my family. Like this is a sensitive subject, and I don't know if you guys even want to hear that, but anyway, it's a lot. And the thing that I do for my family, I just try to intercede and just ask God to just help bring us close, because united we stand, divided we fall. And we already don't have a lot of family here. I realized that my great great grandmother came from Canada, and she started our family here in Yazoo City. So it's already the handful of us. We have a million cousins.
Yeah.
but but as far as that, it's just like, nah. So one day I just pray that me and our family, I pray that we come together, because we have so much talent in the family that it's crazy. We could have so much, but materialistic things and money isn't everything. So, but if they would just have the love in their heart, then yeah. And as far as like the significant otherwise, the boyfriends and the past, having um friendships with them, I recently wrote my book, Side Chick Savior, and it talks about that. Like, I don't have anything against any of my past relationships, although some really bad things happened. I just know how to forgive, and I understand that forgiveness is for me,
Hmm.
and not for them. They can forgive me if they want to, if I did anything to them, but I understand that forgiveness is for me, so I can be free. And as long as that's there, I'm fine. If I see them in public, hey, what's up?
Yeah. You said a bunch. But one of the things that caught my attention is the whole family thing, because I do feel like there's this unspoken thing in our family of the bougie side compared to, like, I guess the more ghetto side of my family.
Yeah.
It's like this big divide between the two of us. And again, we don't talk about it, but everybody knows, And I was talking to my dad about that, and I was thinking, like, is it better to like marry like people that are like you, or is it good to, like, because I'm thinking like the more different the people are, the better, because that makes people like the community better.
No, yeah.
But at the same time, it'd be a
I
lot of
just
fight.
feel, yeah, but I feel like you said marry. I
Well,
feel
I'm
like
saying like, yeah, I'm
when,
saying
like, if
like,
you want to marry, I feel like you should be equally yoked. Like, if that person's mindset is like yours, not necessarily saying the same, but if y'all have the same goals, if you can thrive with that person, if that person loves God, because that's really the sole reason for marriage. I was about to marry my son's dad, because I'm thinking, oh, I want a 2-parent household for him. I want to break this generational cycle and all of that. But when that guy, he was not good for me. He was toxic. We weren't good for each other. And he wanted to, like, he could have been in the NBA. He could have been across seas playing basketball. But when we had our son, guess what he only thought? He only thought that, oh, hey, I need to work. I need to take care of you and this baby. But I didn't see it that way. I felt as if that's your passion, if you want to go and play basketball, hey, I got this over here. I got this in. I can handle this. You can leave us. And when you get when you do what you have to do over there, we'll come. We'll come. So you just go do you. But I had to realize we were better off apart, because I didn't feel like he would really fulfill his purpose in life if we were to stay together, because all he thought about was money, 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 money. And I had a career. I could have, and I did it anyway. I took care of everything. But when he didn't have a stable mind and he wanted to keep changing jobs. And I also had to realize that when I said what I said, he took it as me belittling him. But I just saw the bigger picture. I didn't think that it was belittling. I felt as if it was encouragement. So if his mind wasn't in the state where mine was, of course he wasn't going to see it that way. So now that we have to co-parent, it's like he gets it now. And and I tell him, hey, do your own thing, do whatever is in your heart to do, and you're gonna succeed. You're not gonna have to try to figure it out. So, and when you married the right way, I was gonna say, I didn't know why I was getting married. I was marrying for romance. Oh, I love him. And, we're gonna be together forever and we have a child. But no, when I realized and I had to go back to the only thing that I knew, and that was reading in the Bible, like God he's still showing me today that you have to marry because you're actually marrying Christ. That's what you're doing. And I promise, I'm not being religious. I just know it's just relationship, the spirituality. When you believe in something, and he'll do the rest. Like, you just have to read that word and know. So you got to have like minds, because you don't want to marry a wicked person and then you're over here doing good. Not saying that we should say that, oh, we're we're so perfect and we're so this and we're so that. No, I feel like perfect anyway only means mature. If we're talking about Bible terminology, it only means to be mature in Christ, like the knowing. And life is ever changing. It's ever changing, and you have to learn how to love people differently every day, because we're not going to wake up feeling the same way every day. You're going to get a different vibe.
Yeah. Well, Jamia, we've got another guest coming up. Do you have any last thoughts?
No. I like being on here, man, like talking, and I know I probably leave y'all with a heck of a lot. I'm sorry.
We love having you here. You sound just like you have a whole lot of like love in your heart, and you just trying to. Sounds like you've got a good system of just trying to figure out how to keep that love and not let anybody else bog you down with their business, which is really good to have.
Yeah, I think a very good. I personally find your attitude just really like exemplary.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you've been through quite a bit, but also you have to have one of the brightest souls I've talked to in a minute. That even though you've been through quite a bit, you seem to definitely be so grateful and so full of bliss, which is hard to find. So
it's
that's
like
good.
Inspiring positivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you guys. And I look forward to talking to you again maybe one day.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Grandpa, you got anything before?
No, I enjoyed listening to this conversation and learned a lot from it myself. I feel like to hear someone that has that much love in their heart, and it's very encouraging in life.
Yeah.
Especially with the way things are today.
Yeah. Does last question really quick, the last one. Does your child like Baby Shark song or no?
Oh my goodness, he used to love it. Oh my God, but now he loves saying "Grandpa Sharky."
Oh God.
Can we pause? Grandpa Bart has never heard of this song. Can we play this for him just so that we're all in context?
Please.
I haven't heard the grandpa version of it.
Live on air. I'm gonna play you Baby Shark. Do you know what Baby Shark is? It's
You gotta hear the whole song.
All right, so
everything.
it's this viral children's song that's like it'll never leave your head once you listen to it. So.
Oh Jesus!
All right, I guess I can just play it for my speaker, Sierra. Is that true?
Give it a go. I don't know.
Let's try it. Yeah.
All right, let's see. I have to pull it up. Yeah. Ready, Grandpa?
Yes.
Oh wait, fuck it. You
Remix.
can't hear that, can you? You can't hear that, can you? All right, hold on.
No.
Nope.
Now I hear it.
You gotta dance with us, Grandpa. They're about to get to your part. Grandpa Shark. It's a 9-minute song, Grandpa.
All
right.
I get the idea.
Okay.
All right.
Well, see, I know why you don't have to beat your kids now. Just play that over and over again.
Right. Just scare them. Just be like,
listen. This is here. Just keep playing this.
This could be this would be you in this song right now.
We're gonna run into so many copyright issues on this show.
That's like a rite of passage at this point.
Yeah, for real. Thank you, Jamia. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you guys. You too.
Oh goodness.
I'm sure they like the free marketing we're giving them.
I'm gonna send y'all the trap remix later
after the show. Do you have context now, Grandpa?
Say that again. Context of what?
Of this song. I mean, we've been talking about it so much. I don't want you to feel left out.
No, I heard it. Quite frankly, my hearing is not great, and I picked up some of the words, but not all of them.
I'll send you the trap remix later, and you'll get the full
the lyrics,
what it's all about. Malika,
can you hear me?
Yes. Hello. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
We are just grand.
Yes. Hello.
We're talking about nostalgia today.
Well, for me, I would have to say it would start when I was very, very young. After my dad was like after my dad passed away, my mom taught me how to protect and preserve our environment. So her and I bonded over us taking care of the earth and me learning how to live off the land. And now, after having a traumatic brain injury and cognitive concussion, that has been helping me with my recovery. So I travel globally teaching students in communities how to live an eco-friendly, healthy, and sustainable lifestyle filled with kindness. And I recently started my nonprofit centered on what I learned when I was very, very young. So I'm very, very excited to be able to be of service every day to not just members of my community, my state, but worldwide.
Wow.
Well,
What state?
congratulations.
Yeah, what state are you working
Thank
in?
you. Well, I live in Delaware. I am from New Jersey. So, for
Hey.
example,
New
Jersey in the
England
house.
gang.
Yeah, very cool.
So, last year I secured a sponsor and I was going to both an inner city school and a suburban school because I grew up in both areas. When my school was full in the suburbs, I had to cross the railroad tracks and go to a low income inner city school that was next to a power plant. And as a result, today I now still have asthma and respiratory issues, which I am very frightened during this pandemic. But since my mom and service dog are both high risk, I leave whenever I have to go get us essential items. But I did plan to take an inner city school on an eco education field trip, and our sponsor, after finding out it was not the suburban school, they pulled their funding. So I had to sell my belongings because I made a promise to the students and the teachers. Like everything was planned. Like the lesson plan for the day was me because I am Elite Miss Delaware Earth. And I couldn't cancel on those kids last minute, so I didn't. I sold my belongings and I was able to pay for everything for the eco education field trip, and they had an amazing time. I introduced them to vegan and vegetarian food options, and I had all eco friendly utensils, so bamboo plates, napkins, cutlery, you name it. Even the cups were eco friendly. So I was really, really excited to just expose them to eco-friendly products and vegan and vegetarian food, as well as teach them how to take care of the environment. Because as we know, our children are the future and they're going to inherit this land. So I
I
felt like
think like a big thread that has kept like getting touched on is inspiration through positivity, like being positive or making good out of like really terrible situations. And like I'm just curious for you, like what, because for me I feel like it would be so easy to like go towards the dark side, dealing with any sort of trauma, and it's like very inspiring to have someone that like does maximum amount of good from that, you know? So like what led you to make that decision?
Thank you. Just knowing that if I'm going through this, someone else probably is going through something similar, different, or even worse. And I just wanted to be that light at the end of the tunnel for them because I knew firsthand. Like what I didn't tell you, when my dad passed away, he was actually murdered in front of my face when I was 4 years old.
Oh my
And
God.
that was really, really hard because I am a dad's girl. Like my dad was my best friend. He was my world. Mom may have had me and she was, okay and all, but like the sun only came up because my dad smiled. Like he was just my life.
Yeah.
And so having my best friend, like I used to be a tomboy back in the day, and we would sit and we would watch football. And I remember his favorite team was the Miami Dolphins. And I said, when I grow up, I want to be a Miami Dolphins cheerleader. And he told me that I could be anything I wanted to be when I grow up. All I had to do was work hard. So my entire life, all I ever did was work hard for whatever I wanted because my dad said, and my dad wasn't ever wrong, and he said if I worked hard, that I can accomplish anything. So I have tried. I did try out for the Dolphins, I think either once or twice, but I was training to be a professional cheerleader before I got injured, and now things have just changed a bit. So instead of pursuing professional cheerleading, I just try to be that light in the world.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Like it.
Yeah.
You sound very sweet. I'm assuming that most of our guests are not Trump supporters. Maybe that's
That's hilarious. Oh yeah. I mean, are you?
When I vote with the climate in mind. I think that we need leaders who care about our environment, who care about the world. So I support people who care about the people and want to do good in the world.
Okay.
How much have you improved physically? Apparently, you had a very serious injury, and where are you at now in terms of your physical self?
Yeah, how you doing?
Thank you for asking. So I am able to walk. Sometimes like my vertigo, like I didn't have vertigo before the injury and now I do. So I deal with that. I'm learning not to walk when I'm dizzy. So I'm going to give you guys a funny, and it's okay to laugh at my expense because I will probably laugh while I'm telling you guys what happened to me. So after getting injured, it was really hard because not only do I have a traumatic brain injury and cognitive concussion, but I am disabled now. So it's completely different from, being, I'm not going to say like a regular person, but just living with this disability, I have come across a lot of roadblocks.
Yeah.
And companies didn't want to hire me. They're like, well, why don't you reapply when your brain heals? Okay, so I assumed that since people were telling me that it heals, but that's it's not the case. The traumatic brain injury is something completely different. So I learned that.
Sorry.
Yeah, but physically I'm okay, I can walk, I can talk. Sometimes my words are a little slurred and sometimes I may stumble through a sentence, but I don't stop. When I first got injured, I did cry a lot because I went from being, a pseudo intellectual, having a 3.85 GPA, being able to just have conversations on various topics, to struggling in math and not remembering what a spoon is and having people in public laugh at me because I can't count past 3 or I don't remember the word for spoon and the waitress was being super rude. Yeah. So, I've undergone a lot, and it not only made me stronger, but it made me realize that we do need a safe space for people that are disabled to work. Because even when I did get hired at a bank recently, my colleagues were like, well, why are you here if you're not fully healed? Like, if you still have headaches and ringing in your head, like, why did you even leave the house? And it's like that type of mindset that I feel holds people back. I am here because I am a person, and my bills don't stop just because I'm disabled.
Damn right, that's true.
You sound very articulate. So
thank you. Well, you should have heard me in my interview yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. What's funny from what you were saying is all the stuff you were saying. I was like, man, I want to laugh at all this, but I can't find the right moment to laugh at all this because
No, okay. So I'll get what happened to me. All right. So, and thank you so much, Grandpa. I heard you. So I got hired at a job, and this is before I got hired at the bank. And I was rushing in to hand in my last paperwork because, you want to be early, not on time, because when you're early, you're technically on time. And I just wanted to show them because they watched me grow up. Like I said, I'm originally from New Jersey, but when we moved to Delaware, that was the first grocery store that I ever went to. And so they've known me for 10 years now. And I just and they know I'm always on time, but I wanted to show them this disability is not stopping me from living my best life. Yeah. So I was trying to walk while dizzy. Now listen, listeners, if you have vertigo, if you're feeling dizzy, allow yourself a moment to get your whole entire life together, or this will happen to you. So I was walking, okay? And I didn't see, because when my vertigo got really bad, I couldn't see, and I misjudged the step. When you're walking from the pavement to go onto the grocery stores, I can't even remember what that word's called, but I missed it and I tripped and then I fell and then I tried to get back up. And then I fell again because I was still my vertigo was still bad. I was dizzy and I rolled on the ground and it was so bad.
How many steps were there?
there was just the one big one. And here's the thing, this is in the
Still kind of makes it
suburbs,
funny.
okay? So this is in like the legit like suburban part, okay? And let me tell you what happened. So now I'm rolling, trying to, get my whole life together. I'm rolling around. People are here. This is a busy grocery store. This is in the heart of the area, okay? And so there were so many people there, and not one person helped me up. They all
No?
stopped and they were looking at me, and this one lady grabbed her daughter close, and I'm like, ma'am, I'm a state queen. Like, I teach students
That's
for a living.
hilarious.
Like,
Oh
I mean, like,
no.
I didn't say this out loud, but this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, what? Like, no one asked if I was okay. So let me tell you what
That
I
is
did.
funny.
Damn.
So
The-
let me tell you. So I got up, and this is how you know I've been through some things in my life. I got up, I dusted my little pants legs off because I busted my knee and there was
oh
blood
no.
coming through the pants.
No.
Okay.
Oh god.
Okay, because I got hurt. I had a cut on my ankle. I had a cut on my arm. Listen, this injury is no joke. So and I fixed, I shook my hair out. I fixed my hair. I walked in. I put my head held high, and I smiled. And I continued to walk in that grocery store to hand in my last documents because I was starting a few days after. And so when I had the girl call for the manager, she was like really in like a bad mood. She was having such a horrible day. And I was like, I can tell you're having a rough day. And she was like, yeah, she opened up to me about it. And I was like, all right, I'm about to change your life. Are you ready? Because I'm going to make you laugh right now. And it's okay to laugh. And I told her what happened outside to me. Like, she was laughing so hard, so loud. And she was crying. She was like, and I showed her my kneecap.
Yeah.
I showed her my busted knee. I was like, I just brought these jeans. These are Calvin Klein. They cost some money.
Dang.
They weren't the cheap ones.
Disrespect.
Oh, and I still wear those jeans with a hole in them present day because I reduce, I recycle, and I reuse. And there's
There you
nothing
are.
wrong with having a hole in those jeans.
I'm
No.
dead.
Rock and roll. That is
Right.
hilarious.
Dang. That is funny. I don't know what I would do though. Like, I don't know. I guess I've never seen anybody I've never seen Vertigo in person. I think the only time I've seen Vertigo is what's her face in Arrested Development, and they were making a whole joke out of it. But I don't know if I've ever seen somebody with Vertigo in person before. I don't think I have. I don't know what I'd do.
Well,
They're
because they're
usually on
probably
the
the
floor.
smart ones that are, sitting down until it passes.
No.
They can get up real slow. Can't get up too fast.
Right. I didn't have an option. I'm trying to get this money.
Trying to
I
chase
gotta
that
work.
bag, man.
Yeah.
I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
So in
Somebody-
your expertise, you would recommend do help somebody if they fall, right? Like,
Yes.
like
I mean,
Give it a
assess
try.
Right, assess the situation, or at least say, "Excuse me, are you okay?" Like that one kind question goes a
Yeah.
long way.
Yeah,
And
like
it
nobody
breaks my
asked
heart.
you.
Yeah.
That's messed
Mhm.
up.
Yeah.
They didn't
It
even.
is nice for somebody
it's
to check.
crazy.
Yeah, and it's not like
This
I
was
was.
right in front of a bank building,
No. This is
Bookstore.
when I was working at the grocery store.
grocery store. Gotcha.
Yeah. I work hard. Before the injury, I worked 4 jobs, 20 to 22 hours a day. Apparently, you need sleep, and I didn't realize that. But
Mm.
my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I wanted to leave the state. I wanted to go to school out of state. So when you're a certain age, you don't have the luxury of getting like extra help. You have to pay out of pocket.
Mhm.
So I worked to pay for my tuition out of state, and I was able to make enough money to not only help my mom out here in Delaware, but go away to school. And I did just that. And so it's like I worked too hard, and I had to take 5 days off from all of my jobs because you need sleep. And I had to recover from not having much of sleep. But yeah, I was able to pay for college, and I'm going to school now to be a crisis counselor. So my second degree will be in crisis counseling for K through 12, but my first degree is in education and the arts.
Wow, look at that.
Wonderful.
Is that a psychology degree?
Yes,
counselor?
it's a psychology degree, but I'm going to be a crisis counselor.
Yeah.
Like, just, I don't know like how school was when you guys grew up, but I remember in middle school, my friend used to cut himself because his dad would get drunk and come home and beat him and his mom. And so I just want to be there for people that are going through things that don't have anyone, because the only time we had a crisis counselor at my school was when one of our friends committed suicide, and that was the only time. But people are going through things every day, and it shouldn't have to be till something extreme happens that they're getting the help they need.
Very true.
So that's why I'm trying to finish up my degree so I can provide the service before it's too late for
You
anyone in the
sound
world.
very, very upbeat, and I think you'll be able to help people a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then I got a quick question. Sorry, you can
Yes.
answer it if you can answer it quickly. In the very beginning, you were talking about you taking the kids into the urban school and the suburban school, and that once they found out you weren't taking the suburban kids, they pulled out. Do
hmm
you? They tell you why
They
they
said that,
say no?
yeah, they said that they felt the inner city school kids wouldn't benefit from going on that full trip, that they wouldn't learn anything. But
Compared
what they
compared to the
didn't
suburban
know,
kids, I see.
yeah,
Yeah.
and what they didn't know was when my school in the suburbs was full, I actually went to that inner city school, and look what I'm doing today globally.
Yeah. So maybe it would do something. Yeah. That's
Damn.
proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
You would think the people living next to a power plant would need to learn about the environment they're in too. You would think,
Exactly.
because there's a big power plant right next to you. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. That's the answer I wanted.
Mm.
Malika, we're almost out of time, but do you have any final thoughts?
I just want the listeners to know that they can spark change in their community and globally. All they have to do is believe in themselves. And our earth is something that we all have in common. So now is the time to do what you can to help others.
I love it. And we love what you're doing. So
Thank you.
keep
Yeah, for
going.
real.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
so much. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been so much fun.
Great. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
You too.
Careful around
Bye.
big steps, please. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank
Get
you.
some rest and stay safe.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I hope to see you on the podcast soon.
Me too.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
And last but not least,
Mr.
Mr.
Last and not least. Hello. Last and not least.
Kennedy.
it's your time.
Mr. Kennedy.
What
The
is going on?
WWE reference.
All right.
Oh, okay. What is that nostalgic to you? That's perfect to what we're
I'll
talking
allow
about.
it.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I guess so.
Did you like that stuff when you were younger? Do you still like it?
Yeah. When I was younger, I watched a lot of WWE, and this guy would come up on the stage and get a microphone and go, "My name's Mr. Kennedy," and then the best part of it all is he would say Mr. Kennedy and then stare the audience down, look back up to the sky, Kennedy.
What?
Is he talking about himself? Is he saying like he's Mr. Kennedy? So he's letting everyone know that he is Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that? Okay, that's pretty cool.
Honestly,
yeah.
I hate nostalgia. I'm not.
Why do you hate it?
Like, sometimes I'll open up a yearbook or something, and I just start seeing all these things, and the emotional memory of going back to the emotional memory almost is too much for me to handle. It's like, the only experience that comes close to me on this one is, when you eat something like a cake and it's almost too sweet for you to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's how nostalgia feels for me sometimes.
Wow.
I think that makes sense because you're a very positive person from my knowing you, and me being less positive looking back at good memories, it's like just sweet enough where I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, I feel when I see old pictures of myself, I usually am or not even myself, just old pictures, period. Yeah, it's a mix between. If it's me, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I was alive. Uh, but no, I guess I like seeing family. It's nice to be like, yeah, let's see old things like old holidays and be reminiscing of it. But it doesn't make me feel bad. But it's cool to see the sweet thing. Bart or Grandpa Bart,
Yes.
do you
Yeah.
do you have? I'm so sorry. I know. I was trying to either respect by calling you Grandpa or I didn't. Do you have any? Do you have any of your yearbooks? Do you have any of your old yearbooks?
You know, I have a yearbook from high school, but I put it away somewhere, and I frankly don't know where it is right now. I need to take a look. I probably haven't looked at it for 25 years. So, but yes, I do have a yearbook. I don't remember getting a yearbook from college. I actually graduated from Penn State with Brandon's grandmother, and we graduated together. And
I didn't know that. Really?
Oh, you did? Really? Honestly?
The same class?
Same class. We took the same courses, a few of them together.
She didn't transfer?
Maybe after college.
Yeah. Great. I'll be sure to send her a copy of this episode.
Yeah, I'm her favorite ex-husband.
Yeah. Wow. Did you have kids before you graduated already, or no? It was
We
after?
did. We had kids. We actually owned a home and had a live-in babysitter so that we could go to classes.
Wow. Wow. Things you could do in the 1920s.
Daddy Warbucks over here.
Was the live-in nanny? Was she 10? Was it like a 10?
Oh god.
Oh, man.
We were talking about child labor earlier on the show.
Oh really?
Sunny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What are your views on child labor, Sonny?
I mean, people want to act like we're so much further ahead from child labor, but if you've ever walked into a convenience store, you've been served by a 7-year-old.
Amen.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're talking chronologically or mentally?
On both.
Honestly.
Dang, I had a question about. Oh yeah, what's the youngest age someone's taking care of you? Like, Sonny, like someone's babysit you. Do you know like the age difference?
We don't believe in babysitters in Indian culture, bro.
So what is it? How do you, what happens?
There is none. Your mom raises you, and then you go, and then you find out the world sucks.
Outside your mom's teeth.
And then once you realize the world sucks, you're officially a grown man. You've already been married for 5 years.
Oh goodness.
It's a good life. It's a good life.
Yeah, we don't believe in babysitters at all. I can't remember a time where I ever had a babysitter other than maybe my grandma. My grandma, my dad's mother lived with us forever.
Yeah. I
Grandpa
never
babysat me a lot.
Say that again.
You babysat me technically.
I did.
Yeah.
Spent
I was a baby, and you sat me down.
You and your siblings while you were growing up. Absolutely.
Yeah. I was a little baby. You sat me down, and you were like, "This is what life is really about." And I was like, "I'm 4." But... Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of 4 and nostalgia, I remember when I was 4, the Steven Spielberg movie Gremlins came out.
Oh wow.
And I don't know what he did before that. He had done E.T. and something else before that was just cute and fun, and everybody threw their just grabbed all their kids and just threw them into the theater and just was like, get entertained, and it was great. Everybody loved it. Great time. And then Gremlins came out, and everyone was very, very clear. Okay, everyone was very, very clear. Gremlins is not for children. It is not a children's movie. It is not a film. This is not E.T. Very different premise, different concepts, whole different rodeo.
You feel misled because you had so many nightmares?
My father
Oh my God.
said, this is a nice VHS tape. And my mom was like working nights. So when we were really little, so it was like me and my brother. My brother was 5 because I was 4. And my dad gets this VHS and we would watch movies all the time when my mom was gone. And he put this one in. My mom specifically told him, like everyone else, this is not a movie for children. Don't let the kids watch this movie. So he anyway went to Blockbuster or whatever and specifically sought out this VHS, and we're watching it at home. And I'm already having problems like from the get. And like 4-year-old me, like I remember literally saying, it's probably one of the only memories I have as a toddler. I specifically said, "Dad, I don't want to watch this anymore. I don't like this."
Wow. And that's one of your first memories.
That's like, one of my first memories.
You like came online. You're like, oh, this is what life is.
I was like, I came online. Yeah. No, I was like, I remember saying, Dad, I don't like this. I don't want to watch this movie. And I guess because just like if I left, he couldn't watch me and my brother. I don't know. But for some reason he said, Sierra, just be quiet and watch the movie. Just be quiet and watch. So I had to sit through the whole movie, even though like my tiny 4-year-old body was just literally terrified. Wow. And so like that night I had like a nightmare, and I like ran into my parents' room, and like I was really jazzy child. So I like ran in the room and basically just read both of them. Like, I told you I didn't want to watch this movie. Now I'm having these freaking nightmares. And I didn't even want any nightmares tonight. Like, and I'm getting in this bed. I'm sleeping in here tonight because y'all done did this to me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So and my mom was really mad at him.
I could say the word mama.
I was really mad.
With your parents is great. I'm sure like nothing can hurt you there.
No, I didn't watch it again until like I was maybe 16 or 17, and I was still just like, nah, this ain't it.
They're scary.
It was very scary. Literally, like you literally just basically took like a puppy or a kitten that could almost talk, so even better, and then you literally turned it into an actual demon from hell that tried to kill you for no reason. Like there's no good version of the story. Like it was terrible.
I feel like a lot of scary movies are just meant to make kids like afraid. Like Pet Sematary, like, oh, you like pets? Well,
try again. Yeah.
Chucky, like your little doll. You like dolls? Well, it'll kill you too.
Right.
I never even seen this is how afraid I had nightmares of Candyman. I didn't even watch the movie. Someone just told me the premise of it, and that was enough for me to have nightmares about the Candyman. Just of saying Candyman in the mirror, because then I don't know. I just speaking of being a small or looks like a kid getting bullied or whatever. I think I was a smaller cousin or a kid, so people would like throw me in like the bathroom and close the door, and they'd be like Candyman. And I'm like, oh no, trying to think of the mirror.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's rude.
You remember your first memory, Finest?
My first memory,
or Grandpa, Sonny, anybody?
I do. Yeah. When he turned online, I remember mine.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's so weird. When you turn online, it's so weird. Like, I was like, I don't know, 3-4 years old or something, in my parents' first apartment in Indianapolis. My dad it was like my dad, my mom, my grandpa, my grandma all at the dinner table, and I'm just grabbing some food and sitting at my father's lap. That's really about it.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Do you remember the first time you got online? I'm sorry, Sonny, finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. That's pretty much it. It doesn't get much more exciting.
just sitting on that, hanging out with his dad.
Love you, Sonny.
And then Iron Man came through.
And then I found $5.
Yeah.
What about you, Brandon? Do you have a first memory?
I do, yeah. And I feel weird because it's so specific. And I read somewhere that every time you bring up a memory, you remember it a little bit less. But here we go. I guess I was just standing in front of the staircase looking up when I was, I think, 3. And I think either I heard my mom yelling or I yelled like "Mom," and then that was it. Like I was online from that day forward.
I feel like I must have been online super late because I don't remember jack squat until like maybe first, second, third grade.
Whoa.
I
No,
remember.
like little glimpses or nothing?
I don't remember being like a kid, and like little things. Like I don't remember being in a crib or anything like that. Most of my memories come from like my first baseball team, which is when I was 6. So before that moment, I just
sounds like you weren't babysitter material.
Yeah, I feel like I was just one of those dead babies. Not literally dead, but like just like drift off into space, just staring off at nothing. Because at least they said I was pretty quiet as a kid. So
yeah,
I wonder if the older you get, the more memories from when you're younger you lose. Like, Grandpa, can you remember your first memory, like your earliest memory?
Well, I can remember memories from very early age, from probably 2, 3, 4 years old. Yes.
2?
Maybe 3 or 4. It's hard for me to know exactly what age I was, but I'm fairly sure that I was probably not much more than 3 years old or 4.
What's your earliest memory?
Well, I don't know specifically, but I had a memory of my father had a machine that recorded vinyl records, and I remember him recording me and talking to me on the record, and I remember being down in Atlantic City with my mother and father when I was very young. I remember my father dressing up for Halloween and scaring my sister. I remember different incidents with my natural father who died when I was only 5. So
yeah,
I know that I was younger than 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So you still remember him even though it was so young?
I do, and actually I had some 8. He used to do a lot of photography, and I had 8 and 16 millimeter film, which I converted to digital, and I watched them. And watching him and my mother when at the time when I was a very young, well, it was before I was born, probably some of it, kind of like allowed me to look back at him physically, and it brought me memories, and from when I was a very young child, or even before I was born.
Wow.
Memories of my father. Mm-hmm.
Even like just hearing you talk about that, I'm like, I would hold on to that film and just not watch it for weeks. Just because like the idea of watching that would just like the emotional flood that I would feel, just in terms of like that nostalgia feeling that you get when you're like, it brings you right back into the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of my first memories was actually with your mom, Bart.
Okay.
It sounds weird when you say the sentence like
sounds
that,
like
but
your mom, Bart.
my great grandmother, your mother, was what. Let's clarify this fucking shit, you creeps. All right. my grandfather's on the line right fucking now.
You said it.
You said it, and then you said it weird the way I said it, and I was like, well, yeah.
All you had to say was, man, I remember my great grandma.
Yeah. Moving on. Grandma Ruth, great grandma Ruth, she, with Max, she made us, I don't even think she knew what Pikachu was, but when I was like a baby, they got us a Pikachu cake. Do you remember that? Were you there, Grandpa?
I don't think so. A piece of what cake?
A Pikachu.
Pikachu. I don't know what that is.
It's like this like little animated monster,
It's
like a very popular, a Pokemon. You know what a Pokemon is?
Yeah, I sort of do, because I used to hang out at Comic-Con with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows Pokemon.
Great grandma Ruth got us a fucking Pikachu cake, and she was like yelling at Max, like Max, like get the
That's
Pikachu
unusual.
cake. Yeah, and I think that's one of the first times I like came online was with great grandma Ruth.
I don't know if I was in school or not, but do you remember Burger King and they had those like golden Pokemon cards? Like these be like
yes
pieces, and you get them with the like your Burger King purchases. I definitely remember that because Pokemon was such a big deal that I really, really wanted a Charizard golden card.
Oh man, I still feel that way.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't it be nice to have one of those?
Dude, I feel like do fast food places not give out little toys anymore?
They do.
Oh,
We used
is
to
it?
we used to get the best toys ever.
Oh yeah, I actually got a toy recently because they came out with McDonald's came out with the decade like the best toys of the decade, like like the ones for your kids, um, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I
What'd you
never.
get?
I bought I bought a couple meals. I got the Dalmatian 101 Dalmatians, the one with him in a car, like it's a car and he's got his eyes covered. I got a Mickey Mouse when the Mickey Mouse from Final Fantasia, when he's being a conductor, and he's a magician.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
And I also got that purple figure, the purple.
Oh, dude.
Grumble
Yes.
or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted the Hamburglar, but I didn't get it.
You never see Ronald anymore.
It's because he's terrifying.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
No one wants to see
McDonald's is like a nostalgic restaurant for me. I used to eat it all the time as a kid, but I wasn't afforded Happy Meals. I was like against the rules to get a Happy Meal.
Oh my
Really?
God.
it.
What was the cheapest of all of them?
What did you get?
No, you think it's the cheapest of all of them. Of all the meals, you get a McChicken or 2 McChickens, and it equals up to $2.18.
Right.
And then you go home and you drink the soda, and you play with the toys you already have.
Oh man, dude, that's a good stand-up joke for your set. Most kids got Happy Meals. I just got a meal.
All I got was a McChicken.
Yeah, my meal was whatever emotion I was feeling that day. It wasn't always happy.
Speaking of the kids thing, I think a mean thing to say to kids, my mom said to me a lot, which is so silly because, I don't have a job. But I'll ask for McDonald's, and mom be like, do you have McDonald's money?
Yes.
And I'm like, come on, please. I'm hungry.
Did you give me any McDonald's money? Like,
I know, right? I live in your house. No, I don't have any McDonald's money.
You're just throwing these labor laws back in my face. Like it was.
Just said no. He easily just said no. We can't have McDonald's. But to just be like, hey, little kid, you got McDonald's money?
I don't need an economics lesson. I can't
That's
count
when I
to
became
22.
a nanny at age 6. No.
It's because parents, evolution. If we're speaking on an evolutionary level, the memory of children working is still in their brain, and they're still salty that kids aren't working.
Right?
Oh, that what it is. Yeah.
It's like if you don't want to,
do you
admit
agree with
that you're
Grandpa?
broke, don't just throw in my face that I'm broke.
Do you have the memory of child labor, Grandpa?
Who are you talking to? Oh, well, I have a memory of you going to restaurants. I think when you were like 11, the Melting Pot.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
Ordering too. Yeah, dude. Very.
You should have told him he got Melting Pot money. I just now imagine your parents, Bart, dropping you off at camp for 2 months, and then you coming back, and then they're like, "Hey, you didn't make anything. You didn't do any child labor."
Actually, I did. My last year, I didn't want to go to camp. I was already 15 years old, so they arranged with the camp for me to build a boat, and they bought a Chris Craft, a 14-foot runabout, which I built during the summer.
Damn.
But they didn't tell me that they had sold it to the camp. And,
no!
I got to keep it, and I went back like 10 years later, and it was still on the lake.
Wow, you should have gotten residuals.
And you just tied it to the back of the car and just
rode away.
Something to do for the summer. I was out in the hot heat. Seemed like really hot. And in those days, we didn't have like electric drivers for screws to put screws into the thing. And there were literally thousands of screws in this boat. So I drove them all by hand. It was a job. It was quite a job doing it.
It was free labor because you were a child and you were doing that for free.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. See,
and then they sold it.
And I had another friend that went with me, went to camp with me, a buddy of mine. And the first day he came out with me when I was building the boat, and that was the last day he came out. Never wanted to come out again to do it. But
same.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Sonny?
No, I mean, that's just obvious, guys. adults see these young abled bodies and they want to destroy them and make them feel how they feel. And so child labor is a very natural process of human evolution.
I mean, I understand now that I'm older, and if I had kids that were living in my house rent free and they're eating all the food and they complain so much about like just things, you know, I think I'd get annoyed and be like, you got to go mow the lawn or do something to carry your freaking weight, because I can't deal with this.
This is what irritates me about that, because you say these children are living rent free, but it's like if you need a roommate and then you just make one.
And that don't mean that roommate's still gonna pay rent.
If your kid's complaining, if your kid's a complainer, that's on you. That's something you got to figure out. You can't be mad if your kid's complaining. Like who gave you all of this who gave you all of this entitlement that you're here?
Yeah, no, you're right. That's why I just work it into him.
There you go.
That's why you do child labor, to get them to stop complaining.
Yeah. Don't make me open a convenience store.
Man, I was gonna title this episode "Nostalgia," but now I think it has to do with either hitting children or forcing them to work when they're young.
Just child abuse.
Yeah, basically.
I don't think talked about more. Work that well. You got to use positive reinforcement.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
But if that doesn't work, these hands probably.
No, I believe in positive reinforcement.
Grandpa and Chill number 7. These hands.
These hands. Not for everyone. Clearly.
Sorry, I cut you off, Sonny. What were you saying?
Oh no, nothing.
This is positive reinforcement. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. You shouldn't have kids working too young, and you shouldn't hit kids at all. The end.
And I think on that is the end. We've hit our natural stopping.
But you know what? You know what would be funny though to watch is UFC cage fighting with children.
No.
Yeah. If it's 2 children fighting and I'm not like a part of it. Rosie.
She went like this. The bird went like that.
Rosie. I'm telling you guys, Rosie is an agent of chaos.
I did. Rosie is.
Oh my god.
Destruction.
Oh, she's so
Rosie's
cute.
like, kill the kid. I can't. I gotta stop.
Yeah. Now she's nodding. She sides with Finest.
She's bopping. She's ready to. She's vibing. She's thinking of Baby Shark.
Baby. Right. Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, Sonny, what's your opinion of Baby Shark?
What's my opinion on what?
Baby Shark.
What's a baby shark? Like a baby shark?
And on that, we're out. Thank you so much for coming, Sonny.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Sonny.
Oh
that was so cool.
What is this, Cloverfield? What?
Yeah.
Podcasting with Grandpa Bart and Rosie, always on his shoulder. This is Grandpa and Chill.
Grandpa and Chill is brought to you by your hosts, Brandon Fox, Bart Frank, and Finest Jackson. Our producer is Sierra Doss. You can find episodes old and new on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch the show, and follow us on Twitter for behind-the-scenes moments you can't get anywhere else.